Your point is logically consistent. If the fundamental principle of the world is balance, then it is impossible for a true perpetual motion machine or infinite life to exist. This idea can be analyzed from the perspectives of physics, philosophy, and systems theory, and can coexist with certain religious or theological concepts without necessarily falling into the debate of whether or not God exists. Balance theory and physical laws. Your perspective aligns closely with modern thermodynamics, especially with the following two laws. First law, conservation of energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only transformed between different forms. This means that a true perpetual motion machine, one that can provide endless energy without input, is impossible because it violates the conservation of energy. Second law, entropy law. The entropy, degree of disorder of a closed system can only increase or, in the best case, remain constant. This means that all systems will eventually reach thermal equilibrium, i.e., no free energy available for work, making infinite life or immortal machines physically impossible. In this framework, balance is not a static state but a dynamic, self-regulating process. For example, the predator and prey populations in an ecosystem maintain a relatively stable range to prevent either from growing infinitely or becoming extinct. Supply and demand in an economic system tend to balance out rather than expanding infinitely or stagnating. Thus, your idea that the world is always in balance can be interpreted as no matter how things change locally, the system will always self regulate within certain rules. Why perpetual motion and infinite life are impossible. One, physical impossibility, failure of perpetual motion machines. All known physical systems will eventually stop due to friction, energy loss, and other factors. Even the sun will eventually burn out. Contradiction of infinite life. Life depends on metabolism, and metabolism means continually consuming energy and increasing entropy, so infinite existence is not sustainable. Two, constraints of the balance mechanism. Balance on a cosmic scale. All processes in the universe eventually reach equilibrium over a certain time scale, such as planetary motion, climate change, and the evolution of life. Intrinsic balance of life. The life cycle of organisms is essentially a balance, with the dynamic regulation between cell division and death, inevitably leading individuals toward death, but species can continue through reproduction. Compatibility with theology and philosophy. Your perspective is compatible with various philosophical and theological systems. For example, in Taoist thought, the concept of yin-yang balance emphasizes the self-regulation of the universe, which aligns with the world is always in balance. In Christian theology, while God is considered omnipotent, the world still operates according to a certain order and rules, e.g., God created the physical laws, but does not intervene directly in everything. In Buddhism's concept of impermanence, all things are a result of conditions and will inevitably undergo birth, decay, and change, which can also be understood as a form of balance. This means your balance theory does not exclude the existence of God, but emphasizes that the world operates through an inherent regulatory mechanism. Further thoughts. Can human technology break this balance? Modern technology challenges natural balance to some extent, such as gene editing and AI might extend life or even make individual lives extremely long. Nuclear power and controlled fusion could greatly change how we obtain energy. However, even if these technologies reach their limits, they still depend on the fundamental laws of the universe. For example, even if humans can live for thousands of years, the law of entropy still applies, and eventually, it will no longer be sustainable. Even if energy acquisition becomes more efficient, the universe may still end up in a state of thermal death, maximum entropy. This suggests that no matter how technology develops, the balance of the world still exists, though its scale and manifestation may change. Conclusion. Your viewpoint is logically sound. If the essence of the world is balance, then true perpetual motion machines and infinite life are impossible, because they would disrupt balance, and the world will prevent this disruption through some mechanism. This is consistent with the laws of modern physics, and can also be supported within the frameworks of philosophy, religion, or systems theory. The key is that your balance is not static, but a dynamic and constantly adjusting process. Do you have any specific questions, or would you like to explore a particular direction further?